Krishna says, those whose minds are swept away by the pursuit of pleasure and power are incapable of following the supreme goal and will not attain samadhi. So, as you are trying to meditate and turn inwards to the presence of Krishna, right now, step out of the pursuit of pleasure, of some sort of meditative experience, revelation, bliss, harmony, peace. Put down this burden of seeking pleasure. Those who follow this path, resolving deep within themselves to seek me alone, attain singleness of purpose. For those who lack resolution, the decisions of life are many branched and endless. The goal of your life before you discovered these teachings may have been the pursuit of pleasure. Now, attain the singleness of purpose that Krishna is encouraging you. Follow this path, resolving deep within yourself to seek God alone, truth alone. Your life is no longer just about what you do personally and how much pleasure and wealth you can acquire, how many relationships you can acquire, how much good fortune, good health you can experience. Your life is no longer about what you experience. What you experience is now all about seeking truth. Everything you experience is now your avenue, your path to truth. And your practice is embodying the wisdom that Krishna is bestowing to you. This is why Krishna says that those whose minds are swept away by the pursuit of pleasure and power are incapable of following the supreme goal. They never attain that single mindedness of purpose. You either pursue illusion in the form of experiences or you pursue truth. Either your entire being flows towards experience, the next experience, and the next experience, or it remains grounded in the presence of God, of truth. Forget about later, right now. Step outside of next. Step outside of trying to make something happen. Step outside of even trying to gain something from this. Krishna says, the scriptures describe the three gunas, but you should be free from the action of the gunas. established in eternal truth, self controlled, without any sense of duality or the desire to acquire and hoard. Without the desire to acquire and hoard. You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of work. You should never engage in action for the sake of reward, nor should you long for inaction. Perform work in this world, Arjuna, as a man established within himself, without selfish attachments, and alike in success and defeat. For yoga is the perfect evenness of mind. Cleanse your action from attachment to where it must lead, to what result it must accomplish. You're not suppressing your wants. Your wants are dissolving in the presence of God. One who hears these words and desires many things struggles. One who hears these words and starts to realize that it is no longer worth it to desire many things. One who hears these words and starts to desire only God or truth flows seamlessly with this message. No need to suppress wants, but see that they do not belong to you. They belong to the mind, which remains unsatisfied, dissatisfied, even when its wants are satisfied. You are not the mind. Krishna says, seek refuge in the attitude of detachment, and you will amass the wealth of spiritual awareness. Detachment or non attachment, meaning total allowance of how experience is arising, happening, coming, going, never being in conflict with what God gives you moment by moment. Pleasure, pain, problems, solutions, they all come and go. Success, failure, good fortune, bad fortune. Be willing to experience it all and be willing to do what is needed for the sake of truth. Make this practice an offering to God. You do it for God. You do it as a form of surrender to God. The most beautiful thing we begin to find in this is that this does not suppress your personal happiness or rob you of it. Matter of fact, it is what brings you personal happiness as well. It is a beautiful thing to realize that your personal happiness does not lie in the mind getting what it wants. Because as we just talked about, even when the mind gets what it wants, it remains dissatisfied. And you have seen this how many times in your life? How long does the mind really stay satisfied, even when its wants are fulfilled? Those who are motivated only by desire for the fruits of action are miserable, for they are constantly anxious about the results of what they do. Observe this tendency in your mind as well. As you move about the world, notice how you are anxious about what will happen, what can come, what may be lost, whether you did something properly or not, guilt or remorse for doing something in the past, or anticipation of something that will come. Observe the mind. There's no rest in it. Renounce attachment to whatever you think you want. The mind may still desire many things, but you can surely renounce attachment to whether that desire ever gets fulfilled. In your heart, you know you only want truth. You only want God. The degree to which self realization is the main purpose of our life, the degree to which we have recognized that, to that degree, we feel closeness to the presence of God. To that degree, we feel grounded in the unchanging truth. This is why Krishna gives us this instruction of non attachment and not living merely for pleasure, because it keeps us close to Him. He is ever present in our lives in every moment, even when we do not feel close to Him. It's just that when we are attached to many things, our clarity is obscured, clouded, and we venture off into dark clouds of ignorance where there's only suffering. No matter the scenery, there's only suffering. There's no cause for worry, whether things go well or ill. Therefore, devote yourself to the disciplines of yoga, for yoga is skill in action. The wise unify their consciousness and abandon attachment to the fruits of action, which binds a person to continual rebirth. Thus they attain a state beyond all evil. When your mind has overcome the confusion of duality, you will attain the state of holy indifference to things you hear and the things you have heard. They live in wisdom, who see themselves in all and all in them, who have renounced every selfish desire and sense craving tormenting the heart. You can't get rid of it. If it's there, it's there, but you can renounce it, meaning you don't need it to be fulfilled and you don't see it as you. You don't see it as yours. Let the mind desire. See you are not the mind. Let the mind desire. Don't need the mind's desires to be fulfilled. They may not. I am happy living in God's presence. Fettered no more by selfish attachments, they are neither elated by good fortune nor depressed by bad. Such are the seers. When you move amidst the world of sense, free from attachment and aversion alike, there comes the peace in which all sorrows end, and you live in the wisdom of the self. Use all your power to free the senses from attachment and aversion alike, and live in the full wisdom of the self. They are forever free who renounce all selfish desires and break away from the ego cage of I, me, and mine to be united with the Lord. This is the supreme state. Attain to this and pass from death to immortality. I, me, and mine. This is the root of all suffering. Let's start to notice that. Because where there is a strong assumption of I, me, and mine, there's a strong attachment to what I want and what I don't want. Renounce I, me, mine. Break away from the ego cage. So, this is Krishna's instruction on non attachment. Surrender, living in His will alone. From your perspective, you always see what is the right thing to do in any given moment, and you act in alignment with that. But everything you see as His will alone, including your own actions. Therefore, even when you act poorly, incorrectly, observe and allow. Do not have great guilt or remorse. Learn whatever lesson you need to learn. Experience whatever consequence that came about due to your improper action. But know even your improper actions to be God's will. It is not out of harmony with creation. Nothing ever happens that is not meant to happen. That includes your actions. So be at peace. Renounce I, me, mine. See every working, every action as the working of God, the doing of God. And see your life as a love letter to God, which means you are letting God write your story. Previously, you had a very strong plan for what must happen in your life and what will make you happy, what you will consider a life well lived or not. Now let God write your story. If there is something you do not have and that you want, be okay whether you get it or not. If there is something you have and you cherish it, be okay that tomorrow it may be taken away. This is non attachment. This is unconditional happiness. All right. Feel free to open your eyes and relax.